Tuesday, the 23rd of January. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Yesterday, Apple released security updates for iOS, iPadOS, macOS, tvOS, and Safari web browser. These patches are addressing a zero-day flaw, which is under active exploitation. So the issue is tracked to CVE 2024-23222, and it's a confusion bug that can be used to exploit, can be exploited by a threat actor to execute arbitrary code. And it is associated with processing information from a maliciously crafted website. The fix, by the way, the patch is as simple as improved checks within the browser. So generally, confusion vulnerabilities can be weaponized to perform things like out-of-bounds memory access, or could be used for DOS. They can crash systems or crash components on the system. Also can be used for arbitrary code execution. Never actually tried exploiting any of those, so I don't know how easy they are to do. They sound like they probably require a reasonable level of understanding, but as with all of these things, as soon as somebody's worked it out and chucked some proof of concept code out there, everybody else has got access to it. So if you are running anything Apple at the moment, do look for the patches which are out. Apple has also backported patches for CVE 2023 42916 and 42917, backported to iOS and iPadOS 15. So look for 15.8.1, and that is applicable to all iPhone S models, iPhone 7, iPhone SE 1st gen, iPad Air 2, iPad Mini 4th gen, and iPod Touch 7th gen. Patches there if you are running things from Apple. There's some information on have I been pwned regarding Trello. So this month, the 16th, so a few days ago, 15 million email addresses, names, usernames, and other things have been scraped from Trello. So if you are a Trello user, I think it is definitely worth having a look at this stuff. It isn't that the systems have been compromised. I think it's just that the publicly available information has been scraped and then made available. So basically, it's email addresses, names, and usernames. Now, does this really matter? Well, possibly. So it is worth being aware of the fact that if things like email addresses, names, usernames, and so on and so forth have become available and are associated with Trello, that opens up the possibility for phishing, if nothing else. It also means that in the future, if there are vulnerabilities in Trello, attackers who've got a very substantial database of, say, usernames, which they can try. Also, if they've got the email addresses and usernames, for example, and already have some inclination to attempt to compromise your Trello account? Well, password spraying, brute forcing, all these various other approaches that might be taken. This simply makes some of that initial data gathering easier. So watch out. Keep an eye on Trello. Make sure that if you are using Trello in your organization that you have properly secured it, and I would suggest that you inform your Trello users to be on the lookout for malicious activity, not necessarily account takeover or breach, but phishing and other bits and pieces. So there are a couple of links. There's one from Have You Been Pwned, and then we'll also post a link to the Twitter feed that released this information. I don't generally rely very much on Twitter. I know I probably caused some kind of storm and a heart attack amongst half the people that work in cyber, but I don't generally find Twitter to be terribly useful, unless you want to just get into an argument. Okay, so Trezor, there's been a data breach for Trezor, again exposing email and names of 60, in this case 66,000 users. So Trezor is a hardware wallet manufacturer for cryptocurrencies. The data breach has involved unauthorized access to a third-party support portal used by the company. The breach occurred on the 17th of January, so it's relatively recent, and potentially affected users are anybody who has interacted with Trezor's support team since December 2021. The exposed information we believe, or is believed to include email addresses and usernames, but at the moment Trezor is saying that the attacker did not access phone numbers or postal addresses of victims. Again, this will put users at risk of phishing, if nothing else. But again, it does lend itself towards further attempts to get hold of login credentials or private keys. Now, clearly, if you've got login credentials or private keys for a hardware wallet, as soon as that wallet becomes available, because even hardware wallets have to be occasionally attached to things, then they can be potentially drained. So definitely look out for this. Recommendations at the moment from Trezor is be cautious of emails claiming to be from Trezor, asking you to do things like, click on links. To the usual things are stuff like reset your passwords or whatever it might be. It is definitely worth changing your Trezor PIN and password straight away. If you haven't already done so, enable two-factor authentication. I think that one should be very high up on the list of things to do. I mean, if you've got anything other than a trivial amount of currency in a hardware wallet and you haven't got 2FA implemented, you're kind of like closing the front door but forgetting to lock it. Keep your operating system and other software on your system up to date, always a good one, and report any suspicious activity to the Trezor support. Well, I'm guessing via the compromised portal. Well, no, sorry, did I say that? Or did I just think that? Finally, from me today, there's an indication, there's an article that I caught my eye in dark reading this morning, talking about North Korea's Scarcraft Group gearing up to target cybersecurity professionals. There has been some research done into what this particular APT is doing, and it does appear to be they're looking to harvest threat intel around focused on the cybersecurity community. So, as a fair number of people that listen to this are in that community, just be aware there's an article in Dark Reading that links out to various other articles. As we all know, North Korea threat actors, well funded, well motivated, technically good at what they do. It is unsurprising that they will be focusing on cybersecurity professionals, because in the end they are really just learning about what they see as their adversaries. So definitely worth having a read of the article. It's the usual sort of stuff, right? Links to execute PowerShell codes, and there's nothing specifically new in this space. However, because it's being aimed at cybersecurity professionals, and hopefully we're a little more aware of some of the signs than the general public, the kind of the barrier to entry is higher for the attacker. But it also does mean, though, that the potential gains will be higher for them as well. So keep an eye out. Make sure you are doing all your basic cyber hygiene properly. Be cautious about phishing. Be careful with which, if you are working in the industry and you're doing things in darker parts of the internet, whatever that may be, OSINT, blah blah blah. Make sure that you're using well segregated and well secured devices, hopefully disposable and properly away from anything that matters, in order to do that sort of research. Just keep your eyes out and be good at what you're doing, because if these guys are out to get you, they will be doing so in a very sophisticated way. That is all from me for today. I hope you have a good Tuesday, and I will speak to you all again tomorrow morning.